Hi, I'm Jason Curry with the J. Curry Realty Group, and I'm here today with Helen Cross with New World Title and Escrow and Stephen Doherty with Firebird AST. And today we're going to talk about wire fraud and how you can avoid it in some instances that are happening out there and be able to protect yourself. Now, Helen, you're with one of the premier title companies in the area. You're seeing a lot of transactions. What are you seeing with wire fraud right now?
So with wire fraud, it's sort of a twofold issue. The first is that they are getting into, they're compromising your emails. So it's happening to real estate agents, mortgage loan officers, title companies. These hackers are getting in there, they're finding out information. And then they're impersonating the real estate agents and other real estate professionals. Where we've seen it most often is with the real estate agents. And then after they do that, it becomes a wire fraud issue. What we're seeing is that they're impersonating the realtor and sending wire instructions to the customer or potentially to the title company. So on the buying side, if you're the consumer who's buying, you may receive wire instructions from the title company as well as potentially an impersonating realtor or a mortgage loan officer. So that's one big thing. And then on the selling side, we're seeing realtors sending us as the title company wire instructions of where to send the seller proceeds. And obviously that's a fraudulent account that we're having issues with.
Okay, so basically it looks like you originally get some wiring instructions from the title company or your bank, whatever, and then you're getting new wire instructions that looks like it's coming from your title company again, but it's actually either their account or your account has been hacked and it's coming from some fraudulent.
Exactly.
Okay. And it's very easy to get caught up in a real estate transaction. You're dealing with the home inspection, you're dealing with your lender, title company, you're receiving a lot. So it's easy to get these emails and just fire off whatever information they're asking for without even really looking into it, right?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what we really need you to do is just pay attention to any emails that are coming in and know where you're actually sending it and where it's coming from. Stephen, what are you seeing out there right now?
So I work for Firebird AST. I'm a financial crimes investigator for them. Particularly, I investigate cyber-enabled financial fraud, and this is huge in that realm. We have $12 billion worth of loss in the past 4 years. Real estate is a huge issue here because it affects individual consumers. It affects people's life savings, their economic well-being, and they're able to accrue wealth in the future. Again, what Helen said is what we're seeing. They are compromising email accounts, real estate agents and title officers. Then they are spoofing those email accounts, and they're using contemporaneous and privileged information from those email accounts to then get you to send a wire transfer to a different account than you normally would. And it's just devastating.
Okay, now something you mentioned to me before, Stephen, was the two-factor authentication, which I think Helen's title company uses. They're even getting into that, is that correct?
Yes, so if they are able to get a hold of your email credential logins, that's also very similar to passwords you use on other sites and the dual-factor authentication, so it is not foolproof. But it is a good preventative measure because it adds one obstacle for these fraudsters that have to go further, and they are generally lazy and take the path of least resistance, so it does work to prevent in some ways.
Okay, now you mentioned the number 12 billion, is that what you said?
$12 billion in total loss from 2013 to present, and that involves not only real estate fraud and wire fraud, but corporations, governments, they're all hit by a similar scheme.
Okay, so as far as a real estate related transaction goes, what are we talking about here, Helen? We're talking about earnest money deposits that are typically 1 to 3% of contract sales price. We're also looking at down payments, right? Which can sometimes be cash deals where they're paying for the whole house.
Yes.
I mean, that is incredible. That's a life savings worth of money that is just gone. Once it's gone forever. I know they're working on different ways to be able to get that money back, but we're a long ways from really making that happen.
Yes, and in particular, I track the financial flows to identify the bad actors. And we're seeing overwhelmingly the money going to China, Hong Kong, Eastern Europe, and Nigeria. And once it gets there, we don't have the transparency to track the money anymore, so it does disappear.
Okay. Now, Helen, what can we do to protect our clients from this?
Absolutely. As far as keeping your email safe, you want to try not to click on attachments or links that just don't seem exactly right. You know, you should be expecting to receive an email or an attachment from that individual before you open it. Even with DocuSign, we're seeing false DocuSign accounts and things like that that look very legitimate, and they're not. And then if you are the consumer, if you're the buyer, please call the title company and confirm the wire instructions. Even, I know we were talking about if you receive 2 sets, even if you just receive 1 set of wire instructions, please double check that those are accurate. Call the title company based on their phone number from their website. Do not call the number in the email you receive, because if it is fraud, then that could be fraudulent as well. So please double check that. If you are a real estate professional, I would tell your clients that you, as the realtor, are not going to be sending the wire instructions, that the title company should be sending that directly, and kind of keep yourself away from it. So if they do receive an email from you, they're going to question it, and they're not going to just send the money to that account. And then on the seller side, we really want to see the sellers in person if at all possible, or have a notary, if it's a mail away, double checking that identity to make sure that we're getting the right person and the right wire instructions. And if we do have a seller call us to change the wire instructions in the meantime, a lot of times we're not going to. We have to make sure that it's truly them. So we may default to a check in that case, or with or their original wire. So we have to be very, very cautious with that, because a lot of times it is when they're trying to change the information after the fact.
Okay. Stephen, what are your thoughts on protecting clients from this?
Education is the best thing out there right now, which makes you guys particularly valuable in this field. Not too many people know this exists, so it becomes very easy to fall victim to it. Again, secure emails, changing your passwords regularly, and not providing information in email such as your social security number, bank account number, stuff like that, if you can avoid it. And then, if this does happen to you guys, if you receive a funny email, or if you do, God forbid, fall victim to this scheme, first thing you do is you go to ic3.gov and you submit your complaint there. You can fill in the data fields and provide all the information of what happened. Then you can reach out to your local police department, or I recommend you reach out to your Secret Service field office in your local area, or the FBI field office in that area. The more information we have about these crimes, the better, so report everything you can.
Fantastic, guys. I do appreciate this information. It's very valuable. I hope you all found it as valuable as I did. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call, 703-224-6095. Have a great day.